Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Cathy.
And we're from Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. And we are here at Snap Outfitters getting our brand new Treehouse on our 2023 Gladiator. And I feel like this is an honor and a privilege that this is the first one that they built for Gladiator. We're just super stoked, super excited. Mandy and Ross have been awesome to work with. And so we're going to give you a little bit of a tour.
We got interested in camping out in remote areas. Probably 5 or 6 years ago. We were just catching some interesting stuff on YouTube, and we particularly got interested in this one vehicle that had an Ursa Minor top. So we ended up following that channel for a while, and the guy made it look so easy. Everything about camping remotely, it was just so easy. I mean, everything. I was worried about,
Shout out to you, Chris Shantz.
Yeah, yeah, right. I was worried about stuff like, there aren't any bathrooms. There's, what about bears? What about, scary stuff like that. So, but it just turns out that, if you're properly outfitted, you've got what you need. Everything is easy and possible. I mean, we've got everything we need for, using a bathroom outside. We've got bear spray to protect us against bears or critters. Bear spray is amazing. And we've got a good, reliable vehicle to sleep in. Watching that channel, he was camping on his own. And that Ursa Minor top, it was great for maybe one person, but it was tough for John and me to be able to camp together in that. There were a lot of gyrations we had to go through to climb in and out. And if one of us needed to get down to use the bathroom, we both had to get up and get out. And it was just more complicated. So
not to say anything bad about the Ursa Minor, it's been we bought it in March of 2020, and it has been a fantabulous, you like that?
Yeah.
Platform. It's taken us some pretty incredible places. Sadly, we've only been able to really make excursions into the Jefferson and Washington Monongahela National Forest.
It's been beautiful.
But it's been beautiful, and it's been great. We've absolutely loved it, but we just wanted something with a little more room.
Right.
And so here we have it. A little more room. As far as camping, we have not had any other camping vehicles other than the Jeep JK with an Ursa Minor.
We did have a Tacoma, though, that we thought about putting a camper top on.
Yes, when we first started talking about going with a truck topper, I had a 2016 Tacoma that was my daily driver for a long commute. But it had 250,000 miles on it. And granted, they were mostly highway miles. The truck was on its 4th set of tires and only a second set of brakes.
Right.
But
we're Jeep people is the bottom line. We wanted a Jeep.
But it was starting to show that 250,000 miles, and we just wanted to know that we were going to have a vehicle that was going to last us for another 10 years. We have some dreams and goals of making some long trips out west, and we just thought it would be prudent to have a newer vehicle.
So we wanted a second home that we could take everywhere. And this is it. So this is more, we didn't want the big RV. We wanted to be able to take a vehicle that was lightweight, that would have the camper on it, something that we could take remote, get off where not everybody can get to. And that way we're alone.
Because that's where the best camping is.
Yeah, exactly.
Out in the woods where you don't see anybody.
You have privacy, you've got beautiful nature surrounding you. It's just a wonderful experience. And that was really our goal. We didn't want the big RV.
So before we made the final decision on the Treehouse, of course, there's a plethora of wedge-style truck toppers out there. And I was looking on the different forums at the used market. I looked at the Harker EDC, the Topo Toppers. There's, I don't even remember all the different ones. The downside is they're all made mainly on the West Coast or Colorado or somewhere.
Right.
And to purchase one of those, I was going to have to take a week off work just to go get the thing. So being local, I mean, we're an hour and a half away from home right here.
Right.
That made the decision that much easier. And I have to be quite honest and say that Years ago, before we even bought our Jeep with the Ursa Minor, I saw the Treehouse before Mandy and Ross owned the company. And I just thought that was the coolest concept. We were at Overland Expedition down in Virginia a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. You don't remember it, but I pointed one out because they were there.
Right.
And I said, I'd like to get one of these for our truck. And but we weren't in a position to buy anything at that point. So even a long time ago, even before the truck topper camper took off in popularity, Snap Outfitters was out there leading the pack, and so they've got a long history so that just made the decision easy.
Yeah, and they've been so great to deal with. Great work ethic, great price, everything about it, and just being able to be flexible with options that we wanted. That was super, as well. You know, I mean, we've got the X-Bed mattress. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. X-Bed mattress. We got an awning. What is the awning?
It's by Overland Vehicle Systems.
So and they put some kind of special way to take it on and off. I don't understand all that stuff. So.
Well, they worked with us because being a machinist has its perks. I made some disconnect brackets, and so Ross was great to utilize those and implement them.
Yep.
Because if we're not going to be camping for a long period of time, or if we're going to be going down a tight trail, I want to be able to take the awning off so it doesn't get damaged. And
yeah, so they're willing to work with us on stuff like that, which was really cool.
So they're not just like some of these other companies, you have these options and that's it. And Mandy and Ross will work with you on everything. So I'll just give a quick rundown of what I've done so far to the truck. There's a long laundry list of things that I would like to do yet. One of the first modifications was this bumper. Living in deer country, deer strikes are not an uncommon thing, and I like having some protection on the front of the vehicle. I had a Fab 4 full hoop bumper on my Tacoma, and I hit probably close to a half a dozen deer with that and suffered no damage to the truck itself. And I put that bumper on after the second deer strike, when it broke every piece of plastic on the front of the truck. So I'm a firm believer in having some front end protection. I'm not going to go into any one particular brand because that's up to you. As you can see, I've got a 2 meter, 70 centimeter antenna for a ham radio, some amber fog lights. Eventually I will put a winch on here, because if we're going remote places, I want to be able to know that I can pull myself out of places that I don't want to get stuck. Suspension right now, it's a Jeep Mojave. Suspension is stock. We have not done a thing to it. I was pleasantly surprised. There was really no sag when the topper was put on. Inside, it's, again, not a whole lot of crazy stuff going on. I did go with the the dash bar for mounting phones, the iPad for navigation. On the overhead, I have a rack, which is where I have all my communication radios mounted. They're on top of that. It's a Yaesu FTM 400 and a Motorola GMRS radio. That's nice, keeps them up out of the way. Also gives me a place to strap a box of tissues so it's out of the way. Allergies are a terrible thing. With the topper, we didn't go crazy with a lot of options. I did ask for this shore port. It was not listed on their website, but they were more than happy to accommodate us. And that way I can keep something plugged in if I need to keep something plugged in. We've got solid windows on each side. I opted to go with the solid window over like the turn. I have read where a lot of people love the turn windows. I've also read where the polycarbonate lens tends to scratch, and we travel a lot of tight trails. So solid window works fine for us. And I wanted to have the ability that if we're inside and if I hear some noises outside, I want to be able to look out and see what's going on. We got the full insulation package and carpet, because we do want to expand our camping into the colder weather. On the front of the topper, we got the slider window. And got the slider for one of the main reasons is so we can leave that open if we are, camped in a parking lot somewhere, or not camped, but parked in a parking lot somewhere. Then we can leave that open and still get some ventilation, but yet it's secure. And the same with the cab as well. That's one of the primary reasons for the slider. On the back, we got the solid window, which allows for, should allow, still using the rear view mirror. As far as bedding, we opted also for the Xbed mattress. Never used one. I have read online where a lot of people love them. I've read a lot of comments where they say people have said that they sleep on that better than they do on their mattress at home. So we're excited to try it. As far as building out the bed, I don't know yet. I've got some general ideas. I do have a DC to DC charger sitting in a box in the garage at home that's probably going to be mounted on the front wall there somewhere. A lot of different ideas, just how extravagant I may want to go or how simple I want to keep it as far as building it out. Time will tell, and that's not going to keep us from camping. Passenger side is pretty much a mirror of the driver's side. One window, one solid panel. We opted to get, we purchased this separately. It's the OVS awning, and Ross was great in working with us. I'm a machinist by trade, so I made some quick release awnings, or quick release brackets, that Ross was able to incorporate for the bracket to mount to the topper. And the way this works is it's a 1/2-inch pin that drops down through the center with a lock nut that keeps everything together. Pull the pin out, and then this should pop right off. Again, as I mentioned before, we travel a lot of tight trails. If there's somewhere where it's potentially could get damaged, it's nice to have that option to pull it off quickly. Or if we're not going to be camping for a long period of time, I can take that off just so we're not needlessly running around with it. So I just want to clarify, I mentioned about we opted to get the insulation and carpet option. They offer two types of insulation packages. One is behind the carpet. So of the options, you can get carpet alone, which will help on cutting down condensation. You can get insulation behind the carpet, which is what we opted for. They also have available, and it's an easy add-on, which is something we're going to take advantage of probably before next winter, is an insulation package. It's a quilted, I'm not sure if it's probably Velcroed in when it's used, but it's a quilted liner for the upper fabric. Another option that we went for that not many campers have, well, it's not an option. It comes standard right now with a clear window. The third window here in the back is the option that we went for. Standard is the two side windows. And so with all of the options that we went for, we were quite pleased that the total weight of this came in around 375 pounds, which is without the awning, which is pretty doggone good for a truck topper. when you consider some of the bigger name brands that are out there that come from South Africa, I won't mention any names, that come in at $550, you're really pushing a payload for a truck for a mid-sized truck. Anyway, we are just super stoked to have this, and can't wait for schedules to align that we can actually go out and use it and camp. Super excited.
Anyway, thank you so much for your interest in this vehicle. We are so excited to have it. We can't wait to do more adventures, do longer adventures. I mean, all of our trips so far have just been maybe a night or two here and there close to home, but now we feel like we've got something that we can do extended trips, extended remote trips, and just have so much more adventure. So we look forward to following back up with you guys and telling you, and maybe shooting you some pictures and, you know, letting you know what we're doing.
Special thanks to Mark and Teresa for doing this video.
With out of office camping, right?
With out of office camping.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a YouTube video without hit that thumbs up, like and subscribe.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
There, around the bottom fence, comes up. Tuck it in. Go ahead and pull it down as far as you can. The guiding handle. Yeah, go ahead and go for that. So you can reach the back handle. Yeah. I use my knees too. Like I get my whole body into it. There you go. There you go. Wow. You got it. All right, grab onto that. I like to put that like